When I think of the vision for the Thunder Woman Healing Lodge, I think of the fact that Indigenous young women and make up the majority of people who are incarcerated and who continue to be incarcerated at higher rates have the birthright to access culturally safe supports. It's because it's not even reform, right? Like, it's not reforming the existing system. It's being able to have our own system within the larger corrections one.
Well, I think it's really important that we reach out to different levels of our community who need support and opportunities to heal. I think that this is an area of our community and our people who aren't getting the support that they deserve, and this would provide them with a really safe and holistic place to start their healing journey from the path of their incarceration.
Well, Aboriginal women, hold several roles in the community. They're the givers of life, so they're at the foundation of every family. They're also the nurturers and the caretakers, and we're the keepers of the water. And so we play a very important role in the family and in our communities. And it's very important that we help women come back and have that strong sense of self, to be able to reclaim their womanness, their sexuality, to be able to claim it in a way that is healthy instead of shame-based. And I think any community that moves forward, you've got to get the women feeling very strong and powerful because they are the foundations of all communities.
I think that a Section 81 would empower our women. I think that women who would be in the Section 81 would learn more about their culture, would have the opportunity to do healing, and would be better prepared to live in mainstream society.
Whenever I've worked with women in the penal system, just to watch them get a connection and a sense of pride to their ancestry really does change them. When a woman receives her spirit name, it changes her. When a woman understands, that our women were the medicine women often. We were the keepers of the medicine. We had a very strong, important, and valued role.
I think that it'll impact them on a profound, deep level where their hearts will start to change and they'll start to appreciate themselves more. I've seen that once people start connecting to their culture who may have lost their ways from it for a little while, find an inner strength, and they gain confidence and they have integrity and they start feeling motivated to work on the lives that they deserve.
A lot of women get in conflict with the law because of our histrionics, of, results of family members or even themselves being survivors of residential school, colonization, 60s scoop. Our people have long been shortchanged on our ability to have family and to develop healthy family relationships and to learn about their identity in a good way.
And when you actually look at kind of what people are charged for and look at kind of the underlying reasons why people end up in those environments, like, we're talking about things like poverty, right? We're talking about things like managing, medical conditions, that are very painful. We're talking about people not having access to disability and mental health supports. These are the majority of people who are inside.
Everybody makes mistakes, and a lot of these mistakes that women may have made are based on pain, unresolved pain, and a history that has been very detrimental to their identity. I think it's vitally important that women understand their history and that the Truth and Reconciliation and its recommendations, a lot of them can be very much adapted to this kind of healing lodge.
Right? Like, criminalization and incarceration result from a system telling our people that you're unfit. And so how do we undo that in the context of this work? How do we undo that in the context of the Thunder Woman Healing Lodge, where we can actually say, no, you have the skills that you need, and if there are additional things that you want to learn, like, here's the community that will help you learn that, and we'll find that inside yourself. because it's not often a question of kind of an internal will, it's about having the external resources to make that happen. So whether that's, poverty or parenting skills or unlearning abuse from generations of violence, those are the resources, that we want to make sure are available to everybody.
Well, as well-intended as non-Aboriginal people may be, they don't understand the subtle nuances of being Aboriginal and just what it means to us as a people, how it's impacted us, the things that we value and see as important, our form of spirituality, even our way of communicating, the things that we can value from a day-to-day thing would not even be recognized by a non-Indigenous person. So it really helps save a lot of confusion, and it makes the women feel more connected right away because they can talk about things without having to go into explanation or even talk about things they might not talk about with someone who wasn't Aboriginal. So I think it's vitally important that we have people from our community leading, directing, and supplying services for these women.
And so with a Section 81 operated and staffed by First Nations, and with the programs developed by our people, I know that we'll have a far greater success rate.
The Thunder Women Healing Lodge vision of this actually being in community's hands, being governed by the community, there's a better potential for accountability and responsibility.
For me, it's really important to be a part of it, to just have an impact in helping, our people and helping them know that they have the support and that we are a strong people that will help them move forward and find their way.
The historical trauma in many ways has disconnected us from our own people. And when we look at it and when we start to address it and heal from it, then we're able to, in a way that I put it, come home.